Today's knife is a traditional folder that is a brand new release from one of the channel's sponsors. So, you Stockman fans do not want to miss this. Hey, I'm Jay, and if you're looking to buy a knife and you need to see what it's like first before you drop your hard-earned money on it, here's what you got to do. Click on subscribe so I can help you, and remember to click that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. So all of the specs that you are looking at right now are measurements that I personally took myself, so those of you interested, pause and read. This is the Sowbelly Stockman, and it was provided to me by our friends over at ABKT, American Buffalo Knife and Tool. This is a newer release from their traditional line that's called Roper Knives. Why don't we go ahead and just take care of the size comparisons really quick, and we're going to start off with the Buck Ranger 112, and this is going to be a Case Sodbuster Jr., and well, of course I gotta throw this one in there, Spyderco PM2, of course, and the Benchmade 943. Let's do one more, just so you guys have a pretty good idea. Of course, this is the Spyderco Delica 4 with the Wharncliffe blade. So let's start out with just talking about these the blades here on the Stockman. It features three 1065 carbon steel blades with a really nice satin finish. The main blade is 3 inches in length, and the other two are both at 2 1/4 inches. Now, all three of these blades, they do feature that, and I apologize if it's not in focus. I'm going to do my best here, guys. But that matte strike nail nick on all three of the blades. Now you're going to notice that I'm going to be taking this knife in and out of the frame quite a few times just for the sake of opening it, and it's a little awkward for me, and I don't want to bump the camera as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close all of the blades, and now with the spade blade is actually the only one of the three that are pinchable. And what do I mean by that is that you can just simply pinch the blade without using the nail nick to open it. The rest, you do have to use the nail nick. Now, the pull weight, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most difficult to deploy, I would have to say this is about a, you know, we're going to say it's a 5. Because it is not difficult at all to get that blade out. The snap is not really too loud, so I would have to say that the spring strength is probably, it's at the high end of medium. Now, I have not noticed any kind of like a blade rub yet. Let me go ahead and take a look at them really quick, which is actually very common with, you know, Stockman folders, because there's just 3 blades kind of crammed in there, and there is no liner in between to separate them. So it's very common that the blades do just go ahead and rub up against each other. Now, each blade is a really nice and thin 2.25 millimeters. So just excellent for slicing. Now, out of the box, there was no grittiness whatsoever, and I was also, it was nice to see that it came very well oiled from the factory. I mean, I remember when I first got my Buck Ranger 112, oh my gosh, I had to put so much oil in this thing just to be able to, you know, deploy the blade for the very first time out of the box. Now, if we flip this over, and I want to try and show you the spring, and you can see, hopefully you can see, that it is actually sandwiched between some brass liners. And now that I'm looking at it, there really is, I mean, there's hardly any gap all along. There is a minimal, yeah, there's a little bit here in the center, but honestly, not bad at all. The closed length, 3 3/4 inches. And check out these covers. Just a gorgeous, nice smooth red bone. And you can see here the ABKT Roper Knives shield really has some very nice detail work with just excellent fitment. No gaps around the shield at all. Now here we do have the brass bolsters, and I believe, yeah, all 4 of them feature that little, the pinch indentation at the end. Just a nice little attention to detail. And also has, now you see this one line going across, that's just called a single thread, and that again is on all 4 as well. The bolsters, the fit and finish of the bolsters are fantastic. And I was really trying to look for some gaps here, and I could not see anything. That and the pins, the brass pins, just really, really nice fit and finish overall. What do you say we go ahead and see how much that this is gonna weigh you down? Wow, okay, 3.2 ounces. That is going to be roughly the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 4 AA batteries. The handle thickness, now it's a little over a 1/2 inch at just 0.54. And I just want to show you in my medium-sized hands, I can fit all of my fingers on here. Oh yeah, no trouble at all. Now, if you're not crazy about the red bone, that's okay, because ABKT has you covered. You can also pick this up in either the black or the green bone covers as well. And the price. Now, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is a newer release from ABKT, so you can actually pick this up for about $30, and you can also find some ABKT knives are now being sold on Blade HQ's website as well. Now, don't worry about remembering all this stuff, because I will include the link to ABKT's website, which is simply just abktinc.com. And before we go, I just, you know what, I want to leave you guys with a question. Now, this is the first traditional folder that I am featuring here on the Knife Beater channel. My question to you, do you want to see more knives like this? Because if you do, I have quite a few to show you. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see some more traditional folders. So I want to say thank you to ABKT for providing this gorgeous knife. And if this video was at all helpful to you, hey, would you please go ahead and just leave a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing here and you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point, click on that subscribe button